today besides looking good. Sand's starting to come out. Beautiful 70, 75 degrees. Pretty good breeze out here today. Looks awesome, folks. Let me get these rods out. First cast of the day. I know I'm a little late, folks. I slept in. Yeah, I did. I fell asleep. Around 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't wake up till friggin', you know what? That's obviously going to be the way this spot's going to be. I'm going to have to cast to make sure these rods don't cross one another. I'm going to have to candy cross these guys. I appreciate you guys coming in, my friends. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Welcome back to MVP Fishing. Appreciate you coming in, my friends. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Yep, the weekend's coming, my friends. The weekend's on its way. It's getting here. Just be patient. It'll be here soon enough. Welcome back to MVP Fishing. Yes, this is our channel. Yes, this is our channel, my friends. Yeah, we got a pretty good wind today. Got a cool little sandbank over here. I couldn't resist. I drove by her and thinking I was going to go to another spot, and I just saw this sand and like, yeah, Mike, you got to try there. You got to do it. I mean, you got to do it. Looks too good. Looks too good. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. That's got to be set up just like that. So that rod is situated. All right. We're looking good, my friends. Got our rods out. Let's go get our tablet and come in and check that chat. We're just getting started. I know we're a little bit late, folks. I didn't get bait dug till about 11, so I'm not that bad off. Man, I ain't got anything to drink out here today either. End of the month blues, folks. End of the month blues. You know what I mean? It can be tough. But we're out here fishing, trying to catch some fishies for you guys. It's looking great. I mean, this looks beautiful, my friends. All right, there we are. And there we are. And our signal looks pretty good. No pixels, no anything. All right, looking good. How you doing today, Dave? Dave says hi. How you doing, buddy? I see a Monster. How you doing, Monster? Monster says let's go. Let me make sure you get you two get wrenches. Yeah, that's my reward for coming in so quick, folks. And there you go. And also add, there you go. I'll leave the rest to Danny. I might pop another one. You never know. Let's see. We were actually 2 behind from our last live feed. I forgot. Let's see. Dan says, look forward to seeing this, bro. It looks good today, don't it? We're down about another 1.5 feet. We're not quite. Well, yeah, the water's dropping still, but she looks like she's stabilizing. So a slower drop means these fish are going to be a little bit more inclined to stay in the shallows and hit the baits. Appreciate you coming in, Dan. Let's see, Derek, what's going on? How you doing, Derek? Derek says hi. And Richard, how you doing, Richard, buddy? Richard says, get him, buddy. You know what? That's a wrench I got to give out. Rich is a close personal friend of mine. He lives in St. Louis. I've known him for years, so let me make sure to get Rich a wrench here. And there you go, Rich. Appreciate you coming in and dropping by, my friend. Yeah, we're getting down in the sand again, buddy. Check it out. It's looking good. Let's see, Solo, what's going on? How you doing? Solo Texan says hello. Mike, good luck today. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I hope I catch some. This looks great, folks. I mean, this really, really does. This back current back here, I just got to kind of figure out what angle and what depth and where these fish are. See, Monster says, catch the big one. See, Miss Scooby, what's going on? How you doing, Miss Scooby? Miss Scooby says, hello, MBP Fishing. Chris says, look who finally woke up. I slept till, oh boy. I'm never going to hear the end of this one. Pixel, yep, I see it now. We just went pixel. Yeah, I tapped the screen. Stupid. Thanks, Chris, for letting me know. Let's see. Derek says, I hit the like and subscribe. Awesome, Derek. I appreciate that, my friend. And thank you for coming in. And we're gonna see if we can catch some fish for you. Let's see, monsters. Yeah, that's a big river. She is. You ought to see her on the other side over here. She opens up. She keeps going that direction. So she's monstrous. See, Soul says, welcome in, everyone. Please like and subscribe and share. Awesome, my friend. I get almost no shares, folks. I really do. I got like, I think I got 3 shares last week. Derek says, you're welcome. See, Rich says, thanks, bro. Oh, boy. Rich, what? Yeah, oh, boy. Thank you, Rich, buddy. Thank you so much, buddy. Let's get some WWs in the chat for Rich. That's a donation from Rich. I really needed it too at the end of the month. Thank you so much, Rich. Thanks, man. I like I said, I really needed. Yeah, well, we are getting monetization on, folks. We're waiting for that to process, so it'll be easier for you guys to donate. I know it's a nuisance using PayPal and everything, but I really, really do appreciate it, Rich. Thank you so much. Let's see. Eric says you're welcome. Yep, like some WWs in the chat for Rich. Yeah, him and I have been fishing for years down here. Let's see, Spawn, what's going on? How you doing, Spawn? Spawn says hello from Hungary, 1945. Let's see, Arnold says hello, everyone. Hello, what's popping, bro? We're just getting started. This is our first cast out here. Let's see, Felon says hello, everyone. Let's see, and Sophia, what's going on? How you doing? Sophia says G. Let's see, Chris. Yep, thank you, Chris. Let's see, chilling with Dave. What's going on? How you doing, David? David says MVP. Went the thumbs up. Awesome, my friend. Let's see, Monster. Yep. Share the live, my friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. The Monster says, let's go. Let's see, David says, yep, double tap, folks. Let's see, Dave says, the one short you posted, you caught an eel. Why didn't you keep it for bait? I don't want to touch the daggone thing. Them things are ick. I can't get that stuff off my hands. And we're pixelated again. I mean, we're not horribly pixelated, but I can see lines through those rods. That's going to be I'm not sure if the signal quality sucks down here today, but we're gonna run in front of that camera. She wants to go. Let me refresh this and see how she coming in. Yep, seems like every time I walk in front of that camera, she goes pixels. So I'm gonna have to kind of go around you guys. Try to stay out of the main camera view, at least until I get out here. And safe, she's still doing it. Every time that camera sees me, she goes pixels. Oh boy. It must be just right there, folks. I'm sure if I move the camera around, I can find a spot where it's not going to do that. Kind of frustrating when it does that. She's on her own. What signal too? This has got its own signal, so No reason it should be doing that. We're gonna figure it out, folks. Maybe I just need to pull the camera up a little bit, kind of extend her up a little bit. Oh, come on, come on, come on, get in there. Let's see. Refresh that. I know that's up pretty high for me, folks, but if that's the way she wants to be, there might be some iron underneath the ground here. You never know, too. So she's looking. Yeah, that's looking fine now. Let's see if she stays in. Uh, let's see. Yeah, she's looking better. I think we cleared that problem up, folks. That's a little higher than I usually put the camera, but that's what it takes to get a clear picture for you guys. That's what's gonna happen. Let's see, John P. What's going on? How you doing, John P? Let's see, Dave's laughing his butt off. Yeah, I don't want to touch that thing, Dave. Them things are blech. So one species of fish I don't even like to touch. Actually, it's not a species of fish. It's actually an eel species, but still, it's got gills. Lives in the water. Eats worms. Eats anything. In fact, I've caught them things on corn down here. Seriously, I've caught them things on corn down here. All right, that didn't get anything, so let's go out a little bit deeper. All right. Let's see. Well, we gelled that eel, and yeah, they are good for bait. I will admit that they are very good for bait. Yeah, but the closer you zoom in, also the fact that the less the camera is going to be, so it's going to be, Chris. If I zoom her in, she's going to look a less of a quality. So let's see, Monster with a shout out. Let's see, Rich says, "Welcome, bro." Again, thank you, Rich. Appreciate it, my friend. Let's see, Dave says, John. Let's see, Ben, what's going on? How you doing today, Ben? See, David says, John P. Let's see, Latanya, what's going on? How you doing today, Latanya? Latanya says, hey, MBP. And let's see, fishing with Dodad. What you fishing? Are you in Tennessee? Nope, we're down on the mighty, muddy Mississippi River today, Dodad. Let's see, Carlos. How you doing today, Carlos? No crocs down here, Carlos. Yeah, we're just a little bit too far north to be getting reptiles of that variety. Let's see, John says Latoya. John says Dan. Let's see, John says Rojas. Let's see, John says Dad. Let's see, John says David. Let's see, Dan says John. Let's see, Tommy, what's going on? How you doing, Tommy? Tommy says there he is, a master fisherman, Mike. Nah, just lucky. Let's see, John P says Monster. John P says Chris. Let's see, Toda says hi. How you doing today, Toda? Chris says John P. Chilling says Lato. Let's see, David says Lato. Let's see, Ben says, what have you caught so far? We've been in about maybe 8 or 9 minutes, so haven't gotten anything yet. We just got started, so let's see, John P says Ben. Ben says hi, John. Let's see, Chili says Latonya. Let's see, John says Toda. Let's see, Dad says, have you caught anything yet? No, we haven't caught anything as of yet. We're just getting started. So John P says, MVP, sorry, I'm fast. High hugs. No worries, my friend. You guys enjoy the show today. I see 42 people in and seeing 25 thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Just double tap that screen for me. Only takes a second and it's free. We're just getting started, folks. I might have to put on a little bigger weight on this one to hold, because this current seems to be pulling her down a little bit too fast. Yeah, right over my other rod. Literally, that should not have hit my other rod too, folks. That was frustrating, because this was cast over the top of her, so she should have been underneath her. Dang. One good thing about this spot, it doesn't have many snags, so hopefully we don't get a whole bunch of... This one might actually be better if I cast her in closer. This big rod, it might actually be better if I just flip her in like right over here. If I remember correctly, that rock face starts just about there. So if you get right around that location, by the time you settle, you should be out in a good place. See, she's bouncing still. Let's see if she settles. Yeah, I've got 3/8 of an ounce. I might have to go up to an ounce here. Yeah, it's just pushing too quickly, folks. I'm gonna have to put an ounce on this one. That only takes a second to change up weights here. No, that's a 3. I don't want a 3 ounce. That's too much. Too much, at least at first. See if I can hold. Where's that stupid 1 ounce? I thought I put it in there. I hate it when I put stuff away and it just goes wherever it wants. That is about 1 ounce of weight, these two combined. So we're just going to put a couple extra weights on there. Instead of picking through our gear and trying to find that 1 ouncer, we're going to just do it like this. We're just going to add some weight to it. All we got to do is, assuming I can break this 20-pound test. A little trickier than you think. Yeah, that stuff is tough. So we're just gonna add some weight to this. Instead of digging through my box and trying to find a friggin' weight, we're just gonna add some weight to her. That should be about an ounce now. Actually, probably a little bit over an ounce. Probably about 1.25 ounces. I'm also going to put some more weight bait on this one and refresh both of these other rods. All right. Yeah, my worms are going to roast again. Again, thank you. Thanks for that donation. Every donation, by the way, if you guys want to donate like Rich, you can do that on my main channel. PayPal and Cash App is linked in my description on my main channel. Just takes a second. I like to mention it at least once a feed. All those donations help to support us out here, get us out here, bait, worms, something to drink, because I ain't even got anything to drink today. Yep. Yeah, that's way too far out for that. I want her to be in right about there. She stabilizes there, we're good. Yeah, that's it, folks. That one's holding now. I didn't get this one out there, did I? What the heck? Where's the weight on this one? Dang. Okay, that one was weird, folks. That one was pulled all the way into the bank. That was interesting. Let me put some more bait on this one. I got to refresh the other one too. So together, I got to do this one as well here. We're going to figure this out, folks. They're down here. I just got to find them. I can't believe this whole shoreline down here doesn't have a couple good freshwater drums. And most of the bait's gone on this one too, by the way. All the smaller worms have disappeared. Some small drum, a couple small blue cat channel, maybe a good flathead or two down here. I can't believe it. I won't believe it. In fact, this looks too good. But the way this back current is pulling, this is perfect a spot for these fish to come in after they've bedded up and everything. I'm getting more bait on this one. That is holding out there now. That 1 ounce, just a little bit extra weight. I hate using that much weight, but if I got to do it, I got to do it. And I didn't have to cast her all the way over there. I could cast her. Let's see. That's holding out there pretty good too. So that line's like straight out there. I want to get her like right to the right of her. Oh, there's a bite on that one. I saw that. I saw that, folks. You see that? That's popping it pretty good. That was and stop. Man. Yeah, we've got a good sandbank out now, folks. I can't complain about being uncomfortable down on the rocks. And that one's off angle, isn't it? I was just, kind of getting the rods in the right angle for you guys. All right, where we are in chat here. Let's see, Junior, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing today, Junior? Let's see, Derek says I'm still here. Awesome, my friend. I hope you're enjoying the show. Let's see, John says Derek. Let's see, Dad says never can figure out how you stay in a squat position for so long. Double jointed hips. Yep, my hips, I popped them out of socket. So when I'm sitting down like this, it's pretty much just like I'm standing. There's no force on anything but my yeah. So it's interesting. I can put my legs over my head still. And see, Dan says only in my younger days for a long squat. Let's see, Dan says 10-pound plus cats on that rod. Please, river. Yep. Please, river gods. Let's see, Chevy, what's going on? How you doing today? Chevy Pepper says, what are you fishing for? With worm, I'm hoping to catch common carp, brass carp, channel, blue cat, flathead, maybe even a buffalo, sturgeon. Heck, I've even caught stripers down here. And we caught an eel yesterday as well. So there's a diversification of species down here. Let's see, Chevy says hi. How you doing, Chevy? Let's see, 34 people in and 29 thumbs up. Incredible, my friends. Come on, guys. I know you're here. I got bait in the water. I've chummed this spot pretty good. Temperature about 75, 80 degrees. Not too hot, but it's not too cool. Quite a bit of wind blowing off this cool river, so Feels pretty good down here, to be honest. Closer you get down here by the water, actually, the better. Yeah, that one's holding out in pretty good water. And that one's out there in pretty good water, too. Put some decent chum down here. That corn should be drifting up and down this shoreline. We should have a pretty good bait line out here already. Because there's a back current that goes back that direction where I've been throwing the corn, and there's a back current that goes this way. So all the fish that way and that way know that there's food here. They can smell that stuff. They're coming up into the shallows to find it. Hopefully, not all the time, but usually down here, if you feed them, they'll come. And I just chummed her up with whole kernel sweet corn. Both of these rods are holding out there pretty good. Even that one, the lighter one's holding out there pretty good. Can't complain about my angles too. I think we're pretty good. I'm looking to see a fish or two come to the surface to give me a inkling of where and what I need to do. And I've seen bunkus. I haven't seen even a gar come up since I got down here. Man, I wish I had something to drink now. It is getting hot out here. Throat's going to take a beating out in this heat. Another reason why I chose this cove, folks, it's gusting pretty heavily out there on that point. Back here, we got a little bit of a break so I can see my rod tips better. You know, I'm blind and deaf on this side, so I'm already at a disadvantage for seeing these fish. I haven't seen anything hit the surface since I got here. I mean, this is midday. This is when they usually start coming up. One of those things, maybe I should have tried a different spot again, but after this is just a big rock face. All about a half mile in that direction. It's all just rock shoreline. And that stuff never comes out. I mean, that's just all rock down there, all the way down to the river channel. There's no sand over there. All right, folks, let's come check that chat, see what's going on. Let's see. I caught a 31-pound carp. Awesome, my friend. It's a pretty good carp. We get them in the 15, 20-pound range down here pretty commonly. Yeah, that's huge, Chevy. Let's see, Danny, what's going on? How you doing today, Danny? Danny says, Mike, brother. Hey, N-Jerk, what's going on? How you doing, N-Jerk? Oh, I mean, NJ. Sorry. Where'd that come from? Huh. Let's see. And says, Danny, bro. Let's see, Northern, what's going on? How you doing today, Northern? Northern says, Danny, hello. Boy, I don't know where that came from. That was like, yeah. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Dan. Let's see, Northern says, NJ Fishing. Let's see, Danny says, Northern. Let's see, Chevy says, and I caught a 69-pound blue cat. Another nice fish. Let's see, fishing can't be worse than it was for me. Well, at least it's more comfortable down here than where you were, NJ. Over there, like 25, 30 mile per hour winds in this cove. It's Northern Yo-Yo. John says NJ. Let's see, Denny says NJ. Denny says hi, John. Let's see, Northern says, you're the man, Mike. Let's see, John says, dang, hugs, brother. Good to see you. John says Nord. Let's see, Denny says, Chris, brother. Let's see, John says, hey, hey. Let's see, 5,000 BMCK. Always sitting like that. Actually, this is more comfortable than sitting on the ground. Seriously, the only thing I'll lose circulation in my feet after about 2.5, 3 hours. But then all I have to do is circulation comes right back. See, Arnold says, Danny, bro, how's it going? Welcome back. Good to see you. Jenny says, hi, Arnold. John says, hi, Arnold. Let's see. BMCK says, it is low. It is LOL, real no. Yeah, we are getting lower, folks. So the water's, I mean, it's comfortable. I can't say nothing about the quality of the air we're fishing today. Now, mind you, if I went over there, not crap, yeah, that sucks. The sand's just coming out. This is the first area she'll start to come out. Then over there, she'll start popping out more, and a little bit further down, she'll come out a little bit more down there. I hope you guys enjoy the show today, my friends. All right, looking good. Yeah, it's 86 degrees right here in St. Louis. That's that's what it said on my tablet. Hope there's another pop on that. Something's nipping on that little stinker, but not taking it. See, what I usually do when I fish this spot is I cast from there over to there so that I can hold over there. I didn't want to push that back that far yet because I was worried about the signal quality. You can see I've got the camera up pretty high up for once. I had to get it up that high to get a good signal. Well, a decent signal anyways. It kept going pixelated every time I walked by the screen, which means we were just at an area where she wanted to come in, but she wasn't going to do it. Like, I'm not going to do it. Nope, 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 nope. Not going to do it. If you're getting a signal, folks, and it's going pixeled every time you move, but if you're not moving in the background of the camera, it's probably just because you're right on the edge of a good signal. And that little spots, they can, change from day to day depending upon the wind, the rain, down here on the water, how close you are to the water. I mean, for all I know, there's a big chunk of iron underneath you guys. I don't know. I mean, been years since I've seen what's accumulated down here. I should probably be casting one down here with corn, just for the heck of it. I'm trying to get this to stick straight out. Even with that ounce, she doesn't want to do it. And we have one pretty good pop out here on this one, too. Popped it and dropped it. You know how they like doing that. They'll be swimming by, see it, and take a nip at it, and yeah, that's it. They're done. They don't get enough miles the first time, they are done, folks. And we got a train going by, so I got to check the signal quality all the time now. Yep. I'd say earbuds out, but since I got a mic beat on, it should keep the quality down. the gob. Crap on my line. Stuff off there. Yeah, we're going with, I believe this is another ½ ounce on this one, so not like I was kind of weight on the weight down here. And she is pretty shallow here, but she goes way fast to the, so she's got a real fast drop off in this one spot. More crap on the line. Get stuff off. We got stuff piled up on that tip. No wonder that didn't cast the last time. Alright, I think that's okay with that one now. Yeah, there's got to be some fish out here, folks. I might have to actually change my leaders and stuff around. Sometimes these guys, when they get real finicky, it might just be because your leader's not long enough or too long. Or, well, I know the one I've got's not. It wouldn't be too long because it's very close to the bottom as it is. Might be a lot of muck and stuff on the bottom. Might be making so they're not finding that bait as easy. Well, that's going to be a hassle doing. Because these hooks are pre-done. I don't actually have any hooks in there left that are just open. I made like 5 leaders out of the last 5 hooks I had. And I made them short. That's the way the fish were biting. No, maybe they changed. I think this is good, folks. I think we're going to let these guys soak for a minute. I don't know about you, but I've got the distinctive feeling that they're just having trouble finding the baits right now. The last drum and the last big carp I caught down here, they looked hungry. They weren't super fat. Make sure that's not snagged up. She feels okay. All right, let's come check that chat, see what's going on. Let's see, Denny said, yep, PayPal and Cash App, yep. Linked in the description on my main channel. I appreciate it, guys. If you donate, if you do, if you don't, no worries. That's just an option. Miss Giggy, what's going on? How you doing, Miss Giggy? Miss Giggy says, Mike in chat. Let's see, Dan says, picture good here in the UK. Audio clear too. Yeah, I had to push the camera up quite a bit. She was, when you saw the rods, they'd have the extra lines for them. So, let's see, John says, Miss Giggy. Miss Giggy says, John. Let's see, Gator, what's going on? How you doing? Colt says, Mike. Gator says, Danny, brother. Miss Giggy says, Danny, Colt. Let's see, Gator says, Miss Giggy. Danny says, Colt, brother. And see, Bambi, how you doing, Bambi? Appreciate you coming in, Bambi. Bambi says, Gator. Gator says, Dan, brother. Seeing Tom. How you doing today, Tom? Tom says hi. And seeing George. How you doing today, George? George say, yeah, it's another beautiful day. How are folks doing? I'm doing fine. I slept in. Yeah, we're just getting started. We've only been about 15 minutes. 15, yeah, no, that's 19 minutes, though. Okay. Let's see, Dan says Tom and George. Let's see, Danny says hi, Tom. All right, 21 people in. Let's see, and 39 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, I think we're going to let these guys soak for a bit. They're in perfect places to get fish. It's just getting these little stinkers to hit. I should probably make bigger leaders for these guys. I think that's one of my things right now. Is my leader's a little short. These ones I had rigged up, I had them rigged up for the grass carp when they were over there on that point, and they were only like maybe 3 or 4 inches off the bottom. These guys seem to be up a little bit deeper, so I'm gonna have to probably put new leaders on all these things, which means cutting off all the hooks, which means, oh boy, we'll see if this works first. We'll see if she works first. Let's see, Lucy, what's going on? How you doing today, Lucy? Lucy says, hey. The unicorn emojis, the rainbow emojis, and the heart emojis. Let's see, Honeycut, what's going on? How you doing today, Honeycut? Honeycut says hi. Dan says hi, George. Jenny says hi, Lucy. Jenny says hi, Cutie. Let's see, George says, hey, Tom, how are you doing today, buddy? Let's see, Gator says, Dan, Tony, and Lucy. Let's see, Tom says, George, good. This Kiki says, honey. Let's see, Jenny says, George, I'm wrenching you. Yeah, I gave out 2 wrenches so far, Danny. But one was to Rich, so he's on our friends list. Let's see, in Dakota, what's going on? How you doing, Dakota? Dakota says, hey, Mike, new place to fish. Yeah, we're a little bit further down the upriver. Until I find some actively feeding fish, I'm just gonna be moving around, seeing if I can find anything. Let's see, Danny says hi, Dakota. Let's see, Danny says, George, you're wrenched. See, 25 people in and 41 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, I did give out 2 wrenches, Danny, but one was to Rich. He come in, as you probably saw him on my account. He gave a donation. All right, that was pretty good, folks. Just gonna set that up on our big rod. Way I can keep up with that chat. This is kind of incredible. I can't believe there's no like little channel catfish or anything in here right by the bank. There's usually like these little channel catfish and little drum in here all over the place. Of course, I'm not casting in that close, so same time, they're usually all over. They're like out there and out there and over there and over there, but they're odd. I'm thinking too. I haven't seen a fish hit the surface yet today. Yesterday there were some nice ones coming up, but today there's nothing down here. That's interesting, folks. Let's see. Dan says I think this is the longest he's gonna without a bite so far. Come on, fishies. Yeah, usually I'm getting bites. That's interesting, folks. Let's see. George says, "Hey, Danny, what does the wrench mean?" I don't even know, brother. Well, it just means that you have power to time people out and stuff. But that it's an honorary thing a lot of the times to people, to viewers. You don't need to do anything. Oh yeah, you can time unwrench people out. You can do other things, but it's kind of an honorary thing. See, the sheephead are probably out in the current. I've got this one out there. I mean, I've got a 1 ounce weight on her bombed out there. And I got my other line again. Nope, I don't. So if I didn't have my other line, that was a bite on that one. I thought I had my other line. I saw it bounce once or twice. Kind of weird right now, folks. I'm not sure why. I can't seem to find recently any active, really, schools of fish. Now, I'm still catching fish, but they're spotty. I'm not sure why. I suppose it's maybe because the water's dropping still and they're still holding out a little deeper. But I wouldn't think that would bother them all that much. All right, let's go out there as far out as I can get her. Yeah, that's in the main current. That's probably not even going to hold. I'm out there that deep. That's over an ounce of weight. I bet you that doesn't even hold out there. I could try a rod or two closer in. Sometimes these carp can come in right by the bank. You wouldn't even know they're here. Especially if they're just kind of lying in here relaxing. And we were fishing up there. There actually wasn't that much water there, was there? We were still getting bites out here, though. I was casting. See, I was casting from there right over here. How is that holding? That holding out there pretty good, actually. It's holding about like that. So it's still primarily in that main current. And these guys have been finicky recently, folks. Ever since Memorial Day, this has been been tricky to find them. I debated on whether going to a Fallon or Fairgrounds Park today. I was like, nah. As far as quality of fishing, folks, this down here, I mean, you get a lot more fish at Fairgrounds and O'Fallon Park, but at the same time, you got to deal with hustle and bustle and the people and all the other city gunk that you come out with whenever you come down a major metropolitan city. The traffic, the sirens, the other stuff that you deal with. Let's get some more worms on here and I'll get this right back out there. I'm going to cast this one in closer. What the heck? They're not hitting in out there deeper. I'm cast her in shallower. Where is that so I don't cast over my other rod? Honestly, where I want to cast her, friggin' the big rod's in the way. All right, how do I do this? Tell you what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch up the rod. Because this one's drifted way down there. This one seems to drip right in the middle. And this one stays out there deep. So, no fig, right? Because this actually has, I believe it has 8-pound test on it. And that has 6. Yeah, we're going to cast this one in closer, folks. See if there's anything shallower. That's holding out there pretty good. I mean, pretty much straight out in the current. Get that stuff off that line every single cast. I can literally cast this right Yeah, right there, and that's not going to hit that line. All right, folks, they're back again. Let's go check that chat. You guys enjoying the show, man. I hope I catch some fishies today. Here, fishies. Jeez, guys, I don't want to waste any more on corn if they're not going to be hitting it all. Because George says that's cool, Denny. Thank you, brother. See, Dennis says being honored is feeling good and faithful. Yep. Yep. We try to give our wrenches out to people that come in the chat a lot, and we will be giving those wrenches out more and more as time passes. See, Dakota, what's going on? How you doing? Yep. It's a gradual slope. It's yeah, it's kind of now over here to the right. There's a big spot right here where it gets deeper real quick, and that's like a massive drop off right there, right? But then she goes right back up shallow, so she's a real quick drop off. That's why these two rods are held over here, and I've got one over here in the shallows. Let's see, Eris, what's going on? How you doing, Eris? Eris says hi. Let's see, Lucy said hello. That said hi in the internet was old. Was out. Let's see, Dakota says, I used to live in Flint Hill, where 61 and 71 meet. My boys were to a Fallon school. I got you, my friend. We're down in St. Louis, Missouri. We fish O'Fallon and Fairgrounds Park quite a bit. Oh, that's a bite. Come on. Yeah, that hit it. Yeah, he's thinking about it. He's nipping at it. That's another one. That's our second bite that just picked it up and picked it up. Look at that. Picked it up, knocked the bait up the hook and let it go. That's interesting. Yeah, it's been tough down here recently, folks. I've been having a little bit of trouble finding these fish. I've been catching a couple a day. Just nothing like none of our usual numbers we've been getting recently. It's only been the last couple of trips too doing that. That's still holding out there deep. I mean, and look, she's not snagged. She's holding out there pretty deep. I don't know why they don't make those pre-made leaders a little longer. They make them like this friggin' long. Actually, shorter than that. Come on. He's pecking on it again. And usually when they start pecking on one rod, I concentrate on it, and they try to double the rod over on the other rods. I got a hangnail. Let it there. Let's see. Lucy says hello, everyone. Let's see, Global says hello. How you doing, Global? Let's see, Denny says hi, Global. See, 22 people in and 45 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Just double tap that screen for me. Only takes a second and it's free. Now, right to the left of you guys is some shade. And you guys are about to get into the shade. I'm not. See, Dakota says, be careful, Mike. The night crawlers pop. Huh? Night crawler worse than the caffeine? Eh. I don't understand. Nightcrawler juice is pretty clean. It's after it comes out of their bodies and picks up more bacteria that it gets kind of bad. It's not like I'm eating it. Got it. Yeah, I'm just picking at it. It won't go away. And you guys know when you got one of them hangnails, just gotta, it won't go away. Little finger, it won't go away. That's a perfect little gobble worm. That should get a bite. Go in even closer. Let's try it. I mean, the only thing it can do is not get a bite. I got one out there way deep, and I got another one middle, and I got all three placements out here. Middle, shallow, and deep. That one's out there a little bit further. All right, let's give her a go right in here. It's pretty shallow in there. It's only about maybe 3 or 4 feet deep, but you never know. I don't know unless I try, right, folks? Man, that little sucker's driving me crazy. Stinker. All right. Oh, let's pop, pop. Come on. Oh, you'll miss him. That was a bite, though. He's going ding, 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 ding. Real lightly. I don't know what that was. This isn't that big of a hook, folks, so we should be able to hook anything up to about a ½ pound and larger. In fact, I could probably hook one a little smaller than that. Be a little tricky. Why would you guys be in so dang shallow? I don't know. They're acting crazy again. Heck, in there, I use a split shot. They're so close. Let's check our big rod out. Yeah, she did get snagged out there. Come off. Come off, though. Must have been a rock. Stuck in a big old rock out there. If you get out too far out here, you get to another rock face below the sandbar right before you get to the river channel. Something you got to kind of watch out for when you're using heavier weights, because if you get too far out, and there's no way you're going to hit past that, because that's 100 yards away. Not from the bank, anyways. Funny, it's about 100 yards to get to the main current where the river channel is here, but right over there, that's right off the edge of that point. That's the river channel over there. All right, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, and that looks pretty good. All right, all right. I guess it'll be another one of those days where they're gonna be gotta set and wait for them to hit. I cast this one out a little bit deeper. Make sure I've got her in a good spot. She's gonna be sitting there for a couple minutes. Put her where the current and the back current meet again. Yeah, if the blues are in the main current out there, the only place you're going to get to the main current is way over there on the left, and that's like treacherous rock face over there. It's hard pressed to even set up a tripod over there because those rocks are all chunk boulders that aren't stuck to the ground. So they're like big chunks of jagged rock just scattered all over the edge of the shoreline. No one ever fishes it too, because of that reason. It's almost impossible to fish when it's around this time. And when it gets lower, you can't actually walk down there. You got to go around it to get to the shorelines where the back current and current meet. Right about there. That's pretty much where that is. Make sure that hits the bottom. And we're looking good, folks. Put the lid on top of my worms so they don't roast. That's weird, folks. Another day down here where they just seem to be not really all that active. I mean, they've been waiting for the nice warm temps down here. We've been having like such cold spring, and all of a sudden we get it, and they're just, yeah. Set my butt down right here in the sand, and we are going to watch these rods for a little bit. Let's see, 27 people in and 52 thumbs up. How you doing, folks? Let's see, Denny says hi, Monster. Monster says Yakin. Oh, there you are, Yakin. How you doing, Yakin? Yakin says Danny. And the peace emojis. Monster says rockfish. Is that like rockfish? Oh, I get it. Like a fish. Never mind. Let's see, Monster says MVP. You gotta catch the biggest fish. Hey, woo! It's gonna be your new PB. Well, I'm gonna be down here a long time if I get one of my PBs, because I got a lot of my PBs when I was younger. My personal best blue cat is about 80 pounds, and my personal best flathead is over 100. Common carp's got to be in the 50s. Grass carp, again, is well into the 60s, well over the state record. If I get one of them brutes, I'm going to be down here for a long time. Yeah, those are river monsters, folks. I caught them way when I was younger. This river was so different back then, but she's starting to come back. She really is. I've seen her clean up quite a bit over the last maybe 8 or 10 years. For about 10 years, this river was so yucky and polluted there, you're hard pressed to find anything. And that's my first fish I just saw hit the surface. There's a gar about maybe a half pound right by the bank. That's the first fish I saw all day. And maybe 8 or 10 years ago, they started, I don't know, I suppose they tightened down the regulations, started cleaning things up quite a bit more, and this river started coming back to life. We started seeing stripers down here, the skipjack returned. Even seen a few crappie and bluegill around. Haven't seen any largemouth yet, but that's I don't expect to see them. I even when I was younger, I very rarely saw largemouth down in this river. You have to go into the sloughs and back, and then you're actually not on the river. You're like back into a creek. Like, yeah, I caught a bass down in Mississippi. Were you fishing like a creek? Well, no, you didn't catch him on Mississippi. You caught him in a creek. Up above the dam up here in West Alton, then you really start seeing some largemouth populations. But down here, not so much. See, 23 people in and 54 thumbs up. Dakota Kids, okay, sorry, I'll leave. What's going on? Oh, you're fine, Dakota. And we're pixelated. We just went really pixelated, didn't we? Yeah, we went really, really pixelated there. You're welcome in chat, Dakota. No worries, my friend. Yeah, I saw it, Danny. Let's see, Tom says, you're lagging, Mike. Haven't seen anything wrong with Dakota, Mike. Don't know what happened. It's probably on someone else's chat. Someone's talking about something else, brother. And I've told people, please, when you scroll from one live feed to another, please just reset your internals. You're on a different. Yeah, we're going pixelated all the time right now. What is going on with the signal? Yeah, now she won't even clear up. Oh, there's she clear again now. Yeah, I don't know why she's going off and on like that. Yeah, that was from Rich. That's I gave him back his wrench, of course. That's the first time I've seen him in chat since we did the purge. Let's see, Flava, what's going on? How you doing, Flava? Flava says number 55. Let's see, Danny says hi, Flava. 22 people in and seeing 56 thumbs up. Incredible, my friends. Yeah, we're having a lot of trouble with the signal quality, so I'm just going to have to sit behind the camera here. Man, the image. Let's see. Danny says, let me rent Flava. 1 second. See, Danny says done. If it says Danny. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it, buddy. And these guys are being frustrating as of recently, folks. I mean, I don't have much of an idea of what to do. I mean, there are a few other options I can do. I can put a smaller weight on and a bigger leader and just drift fish down this bank. That's a tricky technique, though, especially with 3 rods. It's one of the techniques I'd use if I was just using 1 rod. I just cast it out there with a lighter weight and just let her drift down, like a Carolina rig about this far off the bottom with maybe 1/8 of an ounce, and just kind of, you cover a heck of a lot of ground doing that technique. Be something I would do, say, on my medium rod over here. See what? Let's give that a go. We're still gonna have 2 rods out in the same place. This is gonna take a plug minute to do as well because this is the only good hook I got, and it's on a pre-made leader. And I don't think I have my clippers on me. I don't know what I do with my stupid clippers. I don't know. Yeah, that worm needs to be refreshed anyways. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically break the leader off of this and just use the hook, which is a little tricky because you gotta friggin' melt the thing out of here without a pair of clippers or a pair of scissors. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Gonna go to a lighter weight too here. Much lighter. Come on, lighter. Come on. There you go. Gotta watch doing this because the hook will heat up on you. Guys, yell if something tries to pull the rods in. I got my eyes on something else right now. Come on, get out there, stinker. Should be off enough to tie that on manually. All right. Go hook in my mouth, folks. We're making a manual leader right now, so bear with me. This takes a minute because if you don't do it properly, like, yep, that's weak there. I had a nick in the line. All right. See, how far off do I want to go off the bottom? I've got these close to the bottom, so let me put this one further off the bottom, like about like that. That's our leader right there. I know, using the same weight strength leader line as your main line, but there's not that many snags down here, so I don't really have to worry about getting snagged up. We're gonna go with a little smaller weight on this one. Get this to drift fish down here. Yep, drop a weight. Lighter. Stupid. They have yet to make a pair of shorts, a regular pair of shorts that everything doesn't fall out of your pockets. Now, if it's got zippers and Velcro on it, yeah, but they always design the pockets real shallow. So people that set like this, which, you know, it is a rarity. Not many people set like this, of course. Still, everything falls out of your pockets. I mean, I lost a lighter and a pack of cigarettes this morning. Just when I squatted down to get my scooter uh unlatched from the out thing down there at the gas station. Just fell out of my bottom of my pocket. Didn't even notice. I was half asleep though. I got up late, so I'll blame it on that. I rarely ever sleep in that late. It's just I couldn't wake up. I couldn't do it. Tried, failed miserably. I failed. I have trouble with this last little thing here, aren't I? Come on. Ah, here we go, folks. That's better. Got a much bigger leader on there now. Got almost a foot of leader on there instead of like 3 inches of leader. I don't know why they make pre-made leaders. Like 99.9% of all those pre-made leaders are way too freaking short for most fishing. They make them in like 3 to 4 inches tops. Like, oh yeah, this has already got the leader on it. Woohoo, I can go Carolina rig. Well, guess what? It's way too small. Even in the wintertime, that's actually the exact opposite. In the wintertime, it's too long. Like during the wintertime, I've got like a quarter of an inch of leader on there. Now the water's so crystal clear and she's down in the sand that fish can see that bait so well. You don't need it like that. They can be like a 2 feet up or below it or above it, and they can still find it. That is another thing too. We're still in like chalky, mucky, yucky water down here. Always tricky for these fish to find bait in this stuff. And I really want to cast this over here, but this rod's in the way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch her up again. Kind of bouncing these rods around, seeing what's gonna work and what's not. Look at that crap in that eye. Sheesh. And we've had a serious difficulty with this stuff this year too. I never see that stuff like that down here. See the Columbia bombs, but not like that up here. So that's the deepest rod. That has to be. I almost felt like something pulling on it. That's the deepest rod. That's going to be further. That's always going to be the furthest down there. Just going to come in shallower. We did get one bite shallow, so we're going to try her in shallow. And this one's just going to be drift fished. So this one's going to be like every like 5-6 minutes, I'm going to have to walk over here and recast her because she's going to have drifted all the way down there. That's going to be cast straight out. Let to drop straight to the bottom. Right? Then we're going to keep that rod tip up on this. So that drifts slowly down. By the time it reaches my big rod, that means the time I have to go down and recast her. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. I'm trying, folks. I'm trying some different techniques down here. And we're pixelated again. We cannot keep that image okay today. We're way off the ground. I mean, I don't know how far back we're like. There's a a cell phone tower right across the river. I can hit it with a rock. Well, can't hit it with a rock, but I can still see it. See, Flav says, hey, Danny. Flav says, thank you. Mahad, what's going on? How you doing, Mahad? Mahad says hi. Mahad with the fishy emojis. Tell you what, let me drop the quality on this tablet, because if there's a low quality, I want to save that for the for the camera rather than the tablet. See, Mahad says hi. Let's see, Denny says hi, Flava. See, Denny says hi, Mahad. See, Mahad says hi, my friend. How are you? Doing okay, my friend. Not a lot in the way of bites, but it's comfortable. It's relaxing down here. Enjoying the nice, cool river. Boy, it feels so much better in the shade right now. Let's see, Mahad says hi. Flava with the heart emojis and the infinite emojis. Mahad says, I don't want to look. Let's see, Release to the Grease. What's going on? How you doing, Grease? Let's see, Release says, Mike, what's up, brother? What's up, chat? Let's see, Northern says, Release, hello. Release says, Northern, brother, what's up? See, Danny says, hi, Release, brother. Release says, Danny, I'm doing okay, Release. We're not getting a lot of bites, but hey, it's a lot more comfortable than my house right now. It's freaking hot out there. 85 degrees. Somebody stole my AC. Oh, you guys know about that one. Let's see. Release says Sweden. Dang, sounds awesome. What's Sweden like? Then he says awesome release. Then he says hi, Bambi. He says Bambi. Let's see. Danny says Danny's living it up in Sweden. Let's see. Bambi says release. Oops. Let's see. Bambi says Northern. Release says hey Bambi. Hey Miss Giggy. He says howdy y'all. Let's see. Danny's sure Northern living the dream. And there she goes pixelated again. She just does not want to give us a clear signal today. Yeah, I'm backed up in chat so much, and I've got to refresh this to see if that came in right. Yep, that quick. All right, we're going to have to do something again, folks. See, what do we do here? So much for our sand bank. I guess I'll get off the nice, relaxing, soft sand and go move the camera up on the rocks. I don't know what the heck. Move her back a little bit, I suppose. And pull this down if we're going to be over here. There goes a big old catboat coming up the river doing 95 miles per hour. I don't know why this thing's acting like this today. Let me refresh her and see if she's still pixelated. I'm going to refresh. Now she looks clear. Now I have to find my spot in chat. Hopefully she'll stay in now. Well, where was I in chat here? Flava, Mesquite, Dave. He says release. Let's see. Sharon, what's going on? How you doing, Sharon? Sharon says hi. Let's see, Denny says hi, Sharon. Mesquite says release. Let's see, Tom says hi. How are you, Bambi? See, Danny says, how are you doing, Bambi? See, Bambi says, good release. Good release, thank you. Lucy, thank you. Tom, Flava, and hi. Miss Giggy says Dave. See, Bambi says, thank you, Danny. See, Flava says Giggy. See, Flavor says hi. See, Dennis says, Mike, we are running on 4 devices. That's a lot of, wow. 34 people and 64 thumbs up. Thank you, Danny. Let's see, Dorothy, what's going on? How you doing, Dorothy? Dorothy says hello, Mike. Miss Gigi says Dorothy. See, Danny says hi, Dorothy. Dorothy says hi, Danny. See, Dorothy says hi, Miss Gigi. And see, Tom says hi, Dorothy. And see, Bambi says, Dorothy, hey you. And see, Bambi says hi, Tom. And see, Dorothy says hi, Bambi. And Pierre Coops, what's going on? How you doing today, Pierre? Pierre says Dorothy. See, Danny says, you're big rod, Mike. I'm keeping an eye on it. I could go look at it here in just a minute. See, Pierre says hi. Danny says, WB. Pierre says, thank you. Jeffrey, what's going on? How you doing today, Jeffrey? Jeffrey asks, what up? What's up? We're down here on the mighty, muddy Mississippi River trying to see if we can catch some fish today. Not a whole lot of bites today, but she sure is relaxing and enjoyable down here. Let's see, Carly, what's going on? How you doing, Carly? Dorothy says, hello, Jerry. Jeffrey. Let's see, Carly says, hi, Dorothy. And he says, hi, Carly. Let's see, Denny says, hi, Carly again. Dorothy. Carly says, Kurt. Carly says, hi, Danny. Pierce says, Carly. Pierce says, Carly. See, Jeffrey says, hi. Carly says, hi, Jeffrey. Carly says, hi. AJ, what's going on? How you doing today, AJ? AJ says, hey, MVP. You see, Danny says, hi, AJ. Gigi says, AJ. Carly says, hi, AJ. Dorothy says, hi, AJ. AJ says, hey, Danny. Hello, Gigi. Hi, Carly. Hey, Dorothy, and hello. All right. 19 people in and 65 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let me go check that big rod. She looks okay. Snagged up. Got it off of there, though. I've been meaning to put some cut bait on this big rod, but I can't catch any small fish recently. Everything I've been catching has been 2 pounds and up. Just too much work to go over and catch some at fairgrounds and come back. Well, oddly enough, these rods are holding perfectly where I want them today. It's just not getting anything. I even put on a bigger leader on this one. I broke down and made a new leader. Still ain't freaking working. There's a pop-up. Oh, you'll. Oh, finally a bite. Man, that was really good popping too. I was second behind that rod. I just happened to look over and see it popping. Yeah, I was in pretty close too, though. So that was like right about there. That was pretty close to the bank. That one. Still ain't that shallow. It's still like 4 or 5 feet deep right there. 4 or 5 feet deep would be well over my waist. Still way deep enough for like a carp, drum, nice channel, couple nice channel catfish come in. Heck, most of Fairgrounds and O'Fallon Park aren't that deep. And it's not like these fish are getting pressured by predators down here, like ospreys or other type of water predators. Otters. I haven't seen an otter down here in years. I see them down in up at Columbia Bottoms, but not down here. I see a few beavers, a few muskrats. That's our second bite, but see those little pick. I don't know. And I bet you she went pixelated again. I just 100 bucks she went pixelated again. No, yep. There are lines through that orange, yep, orange rod. We're still messing up. 24 people in and 70 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Gator says, hi, babe. Dorothy says, hi, Gator. AJ says, how's the fishing going today? We're getting a few bites. Not a whole lot. Seem to be pretty finicky right now. I don't know what's up with them recently. There is a possibility that they're just fed up. I mean, they've had a ton of food. The lunar cycle's coming up. I mean, it's usually around that full moon they start really picking up. I just haven't seen it recently. See, Dorothy says hi, FAC. Let's see, Adventures, what's going on? How you doing, Adventures? Adventures says hello, Mike. Danny says, focus on the bigger ones, Mike. I got to get the skunk out of the way first, Danny. Those big grass carp, common carp, they're going to be in here in the shallow. Now, those real big river blues, they're out there deeper. So I got one rod in the shallow and one rod out deep. I'm targeting them, buddy. See, Dorothy says hi. Danny says hi, FAC. AJ says, seems like a lot of fish on the spawn right now. Yeah, on the spawn or just finishing. The Adventure says, hey, y'all. And let's see, Mike, what's going on? How you doing today, Mike? Mike says hi. 23 people in and 72 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, just double tap that screen for me where it says subscribe. Just press that button once. It's free. It's absolutely free. Let's see, Denny says hi, Mike. Miss Gigi says, you're really going at it, Mike. I got to keep myself busy. Let's see, Abigail, what's going on? How you doing, Abigail? Abigail says, hey. Abigail says, good luck. Denny says, hi, Abigail. Miss Gigi says, hi, Abby. See, Dorothy says, hi, Abigail. See, Denny says, wrench, Abigail. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it, my friend. And we are pixelated. No. Yeah, well. Yeah, we're pixelated again. There's no doubt in my mind that now we're just barely pixelated, but we're still friggin'. There's still lines through that stuff. If I got to keep doing this, I will. And if I got to keep doing this to keep a good signal in, it's still, yeah, it's not getting any better again. Oh, boy. nuisance of a thing today. It really is. Let's see. Now she looks. I can still see those lines and those rods. See, Cindy, what's going on? How you doing today, Cindy? Cindy says, hi, everyone. Abigail says, love you guys. Miss Gigi says, hi, Cindy. Cindy says, all wrenches have been given out for the day, Mike. See, Jenny says, hi, Cindy. Abigail says, hi, Cindy. Cindy says, hi, Gigi. See, Adventure says, streams looks great. Abigail says, happy Thursday. Let's see. Cindy says, hi, Danny. Cindy says, hi, Dorothy. Let's see, Philin says, hi, Cindy. Let's see, Gigi says, FAC. Abigail says, hey, they. See, Cindy says, Shig. George says, in fishing felon. Cindy says, Hig. And say, hi, G. I got you. Abigail says, hit that like button and subscribe. And Dincher says, stream is fine. All right, guys. I'll trust you. Sometimes it can be my tablet. Cindy says, hi, Abby. Les, how you doing today, Les? Les says, MVP. Cindy says, can't do anything about it, Mike. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Let's see, Miss Gigi says, Les. Carl says, hi, Cole. I'll try, folks. I'll try not to fiddle with it anymore. Abigail says, hi, Les. See, Dorothy says, hi, Les. Abigail says, hey, Carly. See, Cindy says, I think it looks good. All right. I'll trust you, Cindy. I will trust you guys. All right. Thank you, Danny. See, Les says, Danny. Abigail says, how's the weather? About, what's it? Last time I checked, 86 degrees and 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. Now, back in this cove, it's only about 8 or 10, but still. Let's see, Carly says, hi, Abby. Danny says, pixelation. See, Les says, hi, Gigi. Adventure says, it's not pixelated. Les says, Abigail. Abigail says, awesome. Les says, Dorothy. Abigail says, it looks wonderful. See, Gator says, Carly. See, Tom says, it looks real good to me. And see, Abigail says, hey, da. Carly says, hey, babe. It might be my tablet. I'll trust you guys. See, Gator says, Abby. Abby says, keep wham. See, Cindy says, it's definitely your tablet. Rose says, going to make dinner and watch the stream. All right. Thank you, Carly. I appreciate you coming in. I hope you enjoy the show. See, Abigail says, yum. Les says, Cindy, hi. See, 23 people in, 74 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And I wish I had brought something to drink, but I was broke getting down here. So, but thanks to a donation from Richard, shouldn't be a problem. I can get something to drink on the way back. It just doesn't seem to like me coming out here. Every time I come out here and come this way, it like goes. All right, risk it for the biscuit, Michael. You guys are being a nuisance. I'm gonna have to put this in a more dangerous location. I don't like doing this kind of thing because I wind up losing all my friggin' gear. Ah. All right. What I mean by dangerous is right around there, up current. It's a rock face right there. Not a great place to cast right there. As far as the getting snagged is concerned now. Getting bites, yeah, it can be pretty good for bites. And that looks fine again. We'll do the same thing with this one too. Cast her up current. Give her as much chance as I can get. A hole out there where the fish are. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Still bouncing. Rock. That's what you call drift fishing, folks. I don't do this much. I've never really done it on live stream because it does a. Oh, missed him. That was a bite. Just keep that line bouncing down the current and something went. Yeah, this whole cove looks like there's. I've seen one gar at the surface right here. Usually, this whole cove is like every few seconds you're seeing fish slapping the surface. I'm not seeing anything right now. And honestly, everywhere I'm looking, all the way down to that past that bridge, I'm not seeing anything. And way past this point again, nothing. Because these fish down here, they actually come to the surface a lot more than you'd think. And if you sit down here for an hour or so, you should see a fish come to the surface. And I ain't seeing no bubbles of grass carp or common carp in here. No channel cat or anything popping the surface. No smaller fish in here by the bank. And the other day there was at least like little itty bitty like skipjack and gar and stuff right by the bank. There ain't even them down here today. On my line down me, Michael. Right over my line, Michael. All right, just let that drift out there. Because that stuff when she's bouncing has got a totally different look and feel than if when something hits it. Ah, that's a perfect gob of worms. That should work. Look at that. Just, I don't know what's going on with these guys right now. Right in that where the current and the current, back current and the current meet. Alrighty, back to that chat. Drift fishing, I had another pop. That kind of felt like a little catfish or something. Though. Would have been nice to have actually hooked it, but oh well. See, 22 people in and 75 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's says, hey, Abigail. Les says, Dorothy. Peter says, Carly. Carly says, babe. All right, here we are. Let's see. Richard says, you earned your new nickname, Pepe Le Pew. Let's see, Carly. Let's see, Cindy says, hi, Les. Let's see, Chaos Goat, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Chaos says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Abigail says, hey, Goat. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Goat. Dorothy says, hi, Chaos. Abigail says, I love you, Goat. Let's see, Goat says, Danny. Miss Kiki says, Chaos Goat. Chaos Goat says, hi, Dorothy. Chaos says, love you, Abby. Abigail says, let's go. Let's see, Abigail says, we have an awesome community. Yes, we do, my friend. We definitely do. Let's see, Lucy with the unicorn emojis. Let's see, Dorothy says, hi, Lucy. Abigail says, hey, Lucy. Miss Kiki says, hey, really do, Abigail. Let's see, Gabby says, it feels amazing. Carly says, that's a really pretty spot. Yeah, it's very relaxing down here. It's actually quite comfortable. Abigail says, let's go. Let's see. Abigail says, I'm tied. See, Gators, the number 3 crown. 18 people in and seeing 76 thumbs up. Man, these guys have got me for a loop right now. I'm getting better bites down here in the middle of the friggin' winter. Seriously. I was coming down here catching 4 or 5 buffalo and 3 or 4 drum right in the water's 35 friggin' degrees. I was catching fish and weird. I do know people have been fishing down here, and I know they've been baiting, using a lot of bait, but still, you think I'd come across one fish that was a little hungry. Like, oh yeah, I could fit a couple worms in my belly. Hmm. I don't know, folks. So he says, what you up to today, Colt? See, Dorothy says it happens, Mike. I don't know what. Usually, I can figure out what I'm doing wrong, Dorothy, and that's the kind of thing. I don't mind when I come down here and don't catch anything, as long as I figure out what I'm doing wrong, so that I can, you know, figure it out and catch some fish next time. I mean, you're gonna come down here with the wrong idea, and you got to figure out what you got to do differently to catch them. I've tried multiple techniques out here. I've tried all around this cove in just various depths. And what do they say? To really learn, you have to make mistakes. But it's figuring out what you did wrong. That's the important thing. Well, figuring it out and figuring out how to do it right next time. Let's see, Monster with the shout out. See, Gator says working outside and now eating and watching Mike fish. Yep, watching Mike fish. That sounds weird. See, Gator says, and you, babe. Let's see, Bambi says done and thumbs up. Any luck? No luck yet, Bambi. We did have one bite drift fishing, but I was a split second behind it. I might have to keep on hunting for spots. We might have to go further upriver. Try and see if we can find anything on our next stream. And boy, that stuff over on this other side, man, that's going to be tough to fish. You guys will be fine. I mean, you just sit in your couch in the living room. I'm the one that's going to be on dang old jagged rocks and crap. We're going to find them down here, folks. We are going to find them. That is odd. And at least I finally found a spot where signal quality can coming in good. Took me forever. We're a foot and a half further off the ground and way over towards the water. But a good signal in finally. Yeah, that little rod should get pounded out there by a little freshwater drum, channel catfish, other things like that. I'm not getting anything out there right now. Like something in here or something has happened recently. It just spooked them. I wonder if people have been swimming down here or something at night. That's a distinctive possibility. As crazy as that sounds. There are a lot of people down in the city that you just get overheated, don't have air conditioners, and right at dark, they'll come down here and they'll take a quick dip in the river. Because that water ain't but about 65, 70 degrees tops. That's at the surface. When you go down lower, it's even colder. When I'm bringing my baits in, they're ice cold. If I had a soda down here that cold, I'd be like, whoo, that's cold. See, Bambi says, gotta call insurance. Oh, I'm sorry, Bambi. Well, I hope they get you in and out of there quick. Man, I hate being on a cell phone, on the phone with that type of thing. Da, 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 da. Please hold. Your call is important to us. Ah! Drives you nuts. Your number 5,766 online. Please hold. Your call is important to us. No, it's not. If it was important, you'd have someone talking to me except for this daggone computer. This is not panning out. And I'm not seeing any fish over here to the right. Not over all this entire cove. It's like still. Even the gar have left down here. Let's see. Tom says, I gotta go. Got some chores I've been putting off. All right. I hope you get them done quickly, Tom. And thank you so much for coming in. I hope you enjoy the show today. Come back soon, buddy. See 18 incredible people still in and seeing 78 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And see, Miss Kiki says, have a wonderful rest of your day, Tom. Yes, sirree. Sand on my butt. Worst things that you could have on your butt than sand. Am I right, folks? I'm right. I think I'm right. And it's drifted all the way down again, so that's almost all the way down to my other rod. Now, that took about 5 minutes to drift from there to there. So anything in that vicinity that was there would have seen this bait going by. I could do a numbnuts cast again. What the heck? We did have one bite in shallow pecking on it. I think it was a really, really small fish. Because I set the hook on it when it was pecking on it, and I missed it completely. Really shallow. That can't be but about 3 or 4 feet of water tops. All right. What the heck? These guys are being a nuisance out here with worm. Let's try some fermented corn. I've got some over here that's past its expiration date, so heck. Try some corn and corn only. This stuff's getting slimy. That's how you know it's not so good. Who knows? Maybe they'll hit it. I don't got great confidence in this stuff, but it works great for chum, but catching fish on it can be a little tricky. I'm gonna give it a go though. I'll probably switch my big rod out there with some fermented corn too. Oddly as it sounds, this fermented stuff actually works better for blue cap than the fresh stuff. Is it? Yep. Got a little bit of a smell to it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit out there. It's a little yucky. The smell. I think we're gonna do the same with our big rod too, because this is like not getting anything down here. That stuff off of there. Bait. Had a lot of worm on there. Won't even come off. Sheesh. Put a couple. Actually, just put a couple of chunks of corn on there with it. I could do that. That way, I've got a chance of getting another fish too. That like yucky corn goo. Yeah, there's a slime coating on the bottom of this stuff. It's blech. It's if you ate that, you'd be on the toilet for the next day and a half. Yeah, it's at that level. There goes the big old boat back. We're gonna go back to a lighter weight on this one too. And that stuff is tough. We're just gonna go to one lightweight on this one because we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right. Put these other weights back up. Put a little bell on here. That'll work pretty good. Hang on to your hats, folks. I'm gonna grab my stuff here in just a second. That's gonna make some serious waves. Amazing, you have massive barges the size of buildings coming up and down this river. It doesn't bother the waves all that much unless they're right on top of you. Now those boats go down, they could be on the other side of the river and still you're gonna get a heck of a lot of waves. And we're gonna try some corn out there, some fermented stuff. See if that does anything. And that one rod is up way too high. Off angle for sure. I don't know why I keep doing that. This one needs to be like freaking way down here to see it on the right angle. All right. Yep. That's better. I forgot we're up higher. The camera needs to be, the rods need to be pointed in that proper angle. Looking good. Sea Gator says, real good for channel catfish. Yep. Channel and blue cat, actually. Miss Kiki says, Colt laughing her butt off. Sea Gator says, drink a little corn juice, Mike. Not for $1,000 donation. Yep. It ain't worth it. Let's see, Davis, what's going on? How you doing, Davis? Davis says, good afternoon, MBP Fishing in chat. Yeah, even I have my limitations, and that's beyond it. That exceeds its capacity, Gator. Miss Kiki says, hi, Miss Amaris. See, 21 people in and 78 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Here, fishy, fishy, fishies. Please, fishy, fishy, fishies. Don't make me make a skunk video, fishy, fishy, fishies. They're going to make me make it up, boy. He says, man, I'd eat that corn and chug the juice for $500, Mike. Fermented corn juice. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. You'll eat anything, Colt. Like a billy goat, man. Oh, yeah, I'll eat that cardboard. Oh, yeah, I'll eat that, oh, I don't even know what that is, but I'll eat it. Etsy Gator says, yep. And Carly says, Colt, no. That's the kind of man that Colt, I'm not going to say anything else. Because Colt actually lives close enough to me within a couple of hours that he might hunt me down. He might do it too. Yeah, Colt's going through his closet going, now what do I find to gross people out on my next line? Yep, Gator's got an iron stomach. It's called throwing up a lot and not bothering you, Colt. When I throw up, it bothers me. I've seen you in the mornings a couple times on WhatsApp. Go ahead just a minute, guys. And it goes muted for a second or two. And like, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's see Miss Key with the thumbs up. Samar says, hey, Miss McGee. Let's see Carly says, I would die. And let's see Gator's laughing his butt off. He knows it's true, though. One word, omeprazole. Yeah, it comes to his Gator's place in the cases. I think he bought like 1.5 tons of it last month. He says, here in Sweden, we have sir stomachs, feminists fish the other day. Carly says, I know. And that omeprazole actually works for stomach problems. I had an ulcer for years until they gave me that omeprazole for about 6 months. And the doctor said, all right, we're going to stop giving you this for a little while. And all of a sudden, yep, I every once in a while, my ulcer flares up if I eat something stupid. Like I put a little bit too much hot sauce in something. And yep, that happens. Let's see. Carly says, I've heard That's very strong, Giggy. Man, I can't believe we've only had like 3 bites down in this cove and all this time. I'm waiting to see one of them rods bouncing or try to pull in or something. It just ain't happening today. See, Muskegee says, oh, Denny says, it wasn't that bad, Carly. Muskegee says, the smell is definitely something, but tastes really good. Denny says, we recorded it and Gator saw the vid. I saw it too. I was wondering if it was as salty on the way out as it was on the way in. Oh, that's a horse rod. That was a pop pop. I saw that. Come on, buddy. That popped hard twice. That went pop, pop. Yeah, even if I'd have been sitting on that rod, it wouldn't have done any good because that was like, that. It's like something just nosed up to it, gave it a nibble, and like, yeah, I'm not hungry. Something's playing with its food out there. I didn't even take any of the worms off. That's interesting. Something in shallower, the water's warmer. Still cooler in the air though. Here, fish, have some worms. Maybe I'll get them feeding. My last resort is to feed little stinkers my worms. Maybe they'll hit. I don't know. Let's see. 19 people in, 79 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Funky, feminated food and very strong. Oh boy. Well, the sand you can, Colt. Carly says, just as long as your mouthwash or brush your teeth later, I'm okay. Seriously, I don't think any mouthwash or I don't think anyone's going to get that out. Here says, Mike, for love and all the things holy, please never say setting on that rod again. You weirdo. Let's see, Misky. He says, Carly, the smell and taste stick at least a day. Let's see, Carly says, oh no. Let's see, Misky. He says, Colton laughing her butt off. He said it. Actually, he implied it. So, implied a dirty. You just dirty, Colt. Yeah. I'll block your butt. He says, Carly, I'm curling a strong malt juice and then chase you around. Let's see. Then he says, Tommy, brother. Let's see. Gator says, Tommy, my beautiful little sister. See, Carly says, he wouldn't me a whole day. Let's see. Jason's laughing his butt off. Let's see, Tommy, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks for coming back in, Tommy. Tommy says, Danny, brother. See, Miss Kiki says, Tommy. Danny says, Jason. Again, thank you for coming back in, Jason, as well. Miss Kiki says, Jason. Tommy says, Miss Kiki. Carly says, thank you, Danny. Yeah, we were just talking about setting on our poles. Jason, just throwing it out there. See, now I implied it. The implication of an implication. Is there a word for an implication of an implication? Oh boy, give myself a headache here. Diddy says Jason. Tommy says McGee. Carly says thank you. Danny says if correctly, it's up. Carly. Gator says Tommy is a pro at pole setting. No comment. Let's see. Jason says hello, Danny. No comment. Nope. I ain't doing that one. I'm staying away from that one. See, good old boy. How you doing, good old boy? Good old boy says, hey, MBP. Long time no see. How you doing back in, my friend? You missed the purge. We purged all of our mods. We're going to stay low, good old boy, for about a month. That was about 3 weeks ago. So you've got about a week now. We've only been giving about, I give out 2 wrenches and Danny gives out 3 wrenches right at the beginning of the feed. Whoever's like someone that comes in a lot, first couple in chat. It has been a while, good old boy. Let's see. Jason says, hi, Miss Giggy. Gator says, haha. The good old boy says 10-4. Let's see. Jason asks, how many fish you brought today? None. Zip. Zilch. Nit. Nil. Nada. I ain't caught anything, Jason. Yep. I had a couple bites, though. I mean, it's been very slow down here since Memorial Day. Not sure what's up with these guys recently. I'm going to have to start searching further and further upriver until I figure out what's going on with these. Because it seems like there are no fish in this. Our regular grass carp, common carp, drum, they're not in here right now. I mean, you'd see if you omit the surface and there's nothing. I mean, I saw one gar hit the top right by the tip of my rod, and it was only about maybe 5 or 6 inches long. Had a couple little peck bites in the bottom. They were probably sturgeon or eels or something like that. Got corn and worm on my far rod. Got corn on my middle rod, and I got worm on my close rod. And I've scattered her up and down this entire cove, from a foot deep all the way out to 20 feet deep. And nothing today. I got a couple bites in shallow, and I got one bite out there deep, and that was it. And they even hit it enough to where I tried to set the hook. Let's say Gia says, fish starting to take a Ozempic. Wow, some type of tranquilizer. Either that or they got their stomachs stapled. Is there a plastic surgeon down here that got my fishy, their stomach stapled? Possibility. I think on our next feed, I'm going to have to drastically change our locations. What I'm probably going to do, if I had the time, I'd do it today. I'm probably going to do it after I kill the feed and run up there for a little bit to see if there's any fish hitting. I'm going to go right down by the granary. I mean, right on, smack on top of it. Now, it's snaggy as heck down there because everyone fishes right down there when the water's higher. When the water's lower, they don't fish it because they don't like walking on the rocks. Still, I don't mind all that much. There's a spot behind the granary there. It's complete back current, and it's about maybe 15 to 20 feet out. You got a a straight back current and then the main current, and you got these iron like trussels that the barge is tied to down there. When it's actively doing its thing, which I don't hear it, so I don't think it's doing its thing right now. A lot of times those big old carp and stuff will be sitting right behind those things. Usually the techniques I use down there are like split shot rigs, right? Because those fish are like they are not afraid of people. They'll set right in the shallows. They don't care. That food is piling in right by the bank. They don't give a crap. Yeah, it's going to be a different trip down there. I don't even know what the signal quality is down there. And see, Carly asked, "Where are you at, Michael?" Uh, we're right at the very edge of our usual spot. When you start moving further down this way, it starts turning into a complete rock shoreline. This is the back cove that we fish when the water's higher. The big old dead tree that we were fishing underneath, that's about 30 feet to your left. It looks so good down here right now, right? So peaceful, so cool. Got the nice shady shoreline, the spot out of the wind. It's hard to resist the fish, but at the same time, it ain't doing funkus. Oh yeah, Carly, it's beautiful here. Nice sandbank. The water, that wind, like blowing off that cool water. It's 80. Oh, it's 90 degrees up there now. So it's reached 90 degrees up there. It can't be but 75 down here. Oh, if you're referring to that next spot down there, I suppose it depends upon the camera angle. I mean, if I point it towards the granary, it looks a little industrial. But if I point it the other direction, you'll have a perfect view of the river downriver from there. I mean, that's about a mile upstream, so it's an interesting spot to fish. I haven't fished that spot since like about 2 months or something. I haven't done a live stream down there. The last time I was down there, the water was like so high. There's one spot open. I just tried to fish it. Luckily, that was the time when we were up in the trees here, and the water dropped just enough for me to kind of nestle ourselves into that spot up there. Oh yeah, Carly, it's a perfect temp down here. Honestly, it can be 100 degrees up there and it still be 75 degrees down here by this water until like late August. And then she's already starting to cool off. It didn't get cool last night till like midnight. Seriously, I had my door and window wide open till like midnight, 1 o'clock. And all of a sudden, I just started not being hot. Let's see, Carly says 100 degrees is much. I'm so temperature sensitive. I'm pretty good with temps. I mean, I'm a little, yeah, if it gets super cold, I have a little bit of difficulty, especially when the wind's blowing like really heavily. Like it's below freezing and the wind's blowing 15 miles per hour. It just eats through layer upon layer of clothing. Now, out in this stuff, I've got, that's why I got my shorts on. Yeah, that extra area of skin that gets exposed out here keeps my body, my core temperature down. So it says, kind of reminds me of some of the spots that I know. Yukon, what's going on? How you doing today, Yukon? Yukon says MVP. Arnold says it's gross mo smash time. I got my eyes on this stuff. I'm watching it, guys. Carly says she does a little bit better in winter. I'm okay as long as the wind's not blowing too bad in the wintertime. I did some streams where the ice was forming on my rods. As long as the wind's not blowing too bad, I'm fine. But I also did a stream out with steam and it was like 29 degrees. And we froze our butts off because it was like 20-mile-per-hour winds. We lasted about 15 minutes on that live stream. All right, let's do this dumb stuff. It's odd, folks, isn't it? That just all these spots down here that usually catch fish is just, it's dead right now. I don't get it, folks. I really don't. That corn's been sitting out there the entire time and nothing even touched it. Not much more I can think of doing. Yeah, it's lost its smell. At least the worms, they keep on wiggling. All right, night crawler. Put a night crawler out there. See if this can get a bite. A couple more little worms on the back of that. Give it a little bit more of a presence. Water. That bounced very, very lightly. crap off my line. That's the day I probably should be fishing Columbia bottoms or something, but I can't get up that distance by myself. Need a ride to get up those locations. All right, that's settled. Right everywhere else. Do a crazy cast. I could cast like out there in the middle of nowhere, way up current or something. That's got nothing over there. Nothing but rocks. All right, go back, folks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little frustrated. Just a little bit. If it wasn't so comfortable down here, I'd be even more. But I'm sitting in the winter. Let's see, Ashley. How you doing, Ashley? And she says, "Hello, everyone. You fishing freshwater? You saltwater fish too?" I do saltwater fish, but there's no saltwater around here. I'm afraid we're down in Mississippi River on St. Louis, Missouri. I haven't done any saltwater in years since I took a trip down to Texas and back. So I fished the Gulf of Mexico for a little bit. Dorothy says, "Hi, Ashley." Carly says, "Hello." Holy crap. Ashley says, "Hello, Dorothy." Mahad says, "Hi, my friends. How are you?" Hey, Mahad. Thanks for coming back in. Jason says, "Mike, brother. Have you caught anything?" No, I haven't caught anything, Jason. I haven't caught anything. I haven't. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll get you for that, Jason. Dorothy says, "Yep, can't make them bite." Dorothy says, "Hi, Jason." Let's see. Dorothy says, "Hi, Mahad." Let's see. Jason says, "Hi, Dorothy. How are you?" Dorothy says, "Doing great, Jason. How are you?" 8 people in, 83 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. You guys are enjoying the show today. Let's see. Dorothy says, "Doing great, Jason." Don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Double tap that screen for me. Yeah, it just ain't happening in this spot. Oh well. Could be worse. Could be 110 degrees out here. Got a nice cool breeze. Could sit in here and chat with my friends and family on YouTube. Could be worse. Let's see. Jason says, running errands on my way home. Well, drive safe, buddy. Keep your eye on that road. And people in it, 84 thumbs up. Incredible, my friends. Incredible considering that I've been sitting down here for about 2 hours and haven't gotten more than 4 or 5 little nibbles. I set the hook on one. I think I did that a little early, and after that, I haven't gotten a bite worthy of setting a hook on. Jason says, I am, brother. You catch anything good? I haven't caught anything yet, Jason. I haven't even, I've had a couple bites. I've had a couple bites in shallow and one bite out deep. He's pretty dang slow right now. Wow, it's peaceful down here, folks. It's just we're not catching much of anything. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's like the fish aren't even here today. There's no fish hitting the surface. Nothing chasing bait. I saw one little baby gar right by the bank, and that was it. Usually there's tons of like little gar and stuff around here, and I ain't seen them today. Oh yeah, the river looks great. That's why I'm down here in this one spot. It's gorgeous. It's very relaxing, very peaceful. Down here sitting by this river, it feels like you're by an AC. To find fish on our next feed, I'm probably gonna have to get up like 7 a.m. and get down here by at least maybe 8:30 or 9 o'clock and just start hopping around spots. Like there's a spot right over here on the other side of the wall. I don't have much confidence in that one. And then I'm gonna have to go up river quite a bit, and then there's another spot, and there's another spot, and then you're down by the granary. Hopefully, I can find something by the time I get to the granary. Because if I don't find anything there, man, that's a trip and a half to get to the next spot. Because the rest of that shoreline just it's all just straight current and rocks. There's no back eddies, there's no structure, it's just rocks and rocks and more rocks and more rocks and yeah, I mentioned there was a lot of rocks. There's a lot of rocks. Folks, what time is it? Oh man, it's like 3:15. I didn't get out here till late, so I didn't start up to feed till about 1 o'clock. Actually, after one, like 1:02 or something. But yeah, those rods they're in perfect positions. One's in close, one's out a little deeper, and the other one's in closer again. Not that much of a weight on there. That even the big rod's only got like 1/8 of an ounce of weight holding in that back current. I've tried everywhere around here in the shore. I've tried out deep with 2 ounces of weight holding out there. I've tried in shallow. I've tried multiple baits, multiple rigs. I've changed my leader length on a number of occasions. Just nothing. All right, folks, we are at 2:28. I think we're gonna shut her down at 2:30. No sense of wasting you guys' time sitting in here. We're gonna give her another 2 minutes here. Sound good to you guys? I think that sounds good to me. See, how you doing, Lucy? See, Dorothy says you're definitely trying, Mike. Thanks, Dorothy. I've rebaited these rods a dozen times on each one of them. So from over here, I've seen one bite that was big enough for me to actually see, and it just popped twice. And that was on the close rod. It just went pop, pop, and that was it. For all I know, that could have been like a stick by my line or something. I don't know. Water looks fine. She's starting to clear up. Sediment's starting to settle because the lower it gets, the less mud's around here for the barges and the boats to knock up. See Lucy with the unicorn emojis, the heart emojis. See Dorothy says, whatever you want to do. Hi Pops, Pup Adventures. I'm gonna be bouncing around. There's no way I'm gonna be doing a live stream until I like locate these fish. Who knows? Maybe I'll find a spot as I keep working on the shoreline. Maybe and start the feed up again. But for now, you're better off scrolling on to find someone that can actually catch a fish. Nothing more said about that. Yeah, I'll be moving that way. Yeah, that way. Down that way. I'll be moving on the other side of that rocks, and they're kind of treacherous. For me to be setting up the camera feed every couple of feet as I move is now once I get to a find a spot, I can always spend the time to set the camera up. I'm just not gonna run. Imagine those rocks on that other side; they're twice as bad as what you see in front of you. Like right at that point, and it's pretty much on that angle too. I don't know. I'll probably find something somewhere, but I just got to look. Well, this is fishing my first live stream skunk this year. Oh well. Suppose it happens to us all. 11 people in. Let's see, an 86 thumbs up. See Dorothy. Oh, Pup says be careful. I always am. It's actually much easier. I never fall when I'm just fishing myself. It's when I'm trying to live stream it gets a little tricky. 2:30 and 1 second. All right, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Like I said, I might start the feed a little bit later if I could find any actively feeding fish. Yeah, at least comfortable and enjoy and relaxing down here, right? Had a couple bites, but I couldn't catch anything for you guys. I'm just gonna have my old good luck. Stay safe. Hope to see you on the water, my friends. Keep doing what you love. Keep them lines tight. See you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.